Alright, so I got some fast setting drywall mud here, and I got my pieces all made up ahead of time. Get in here. So this already got put in. I got that extra piece of wood across the bottom. This all got screwed in, and I went over it and I bonded it already once with this bonding grade drywall mud. So get this paper on here, get this embedded. Nice and tight. Now you can get away with this on this mat. The paint on the wall here is a flat paint, so you can get this drywall mud to bond really well. You don't have to do much of anything to it. But if it's like a glossy finish, you want to kind of scarify the surface. Get you some scratches in there so that it bonds a little better. Just enough to break that surface. But we're good with this. It bonds pretty good. And that's what this mud, this particular mud is. It's a denser mud when it comes to sanding it, so you don't want to have a lot of excess. But it bonds really well to all of these surfaces. So we get that on there. Get this 5-incher. Boom, boom, boom. And get this shorty. So, going back, this had a crack, a gap here, and a gap across the bottom where the box wasn't set right. And the drywall wasn't cut right. So both of those two issues compounded into those gaps that are you know, there's a little sheets to get through one issue, but man, when you got multiples, it's like sometimes you got to decide if you just want to tear it out and start over. You really got to think about the numbers on it, because sometimes it is more cost effective to just tear it out and start over. I actually did that in the hallway up here because it was going to take too much tinkering. And if you're tinkering, like what I'm doing here, that's what I call this. But if you got to do all of that and you're not getting a good product, then it's just not the right thing to do. So with that out there, I opened the whole wall up and just repaired it right. So we'll do this. Again, this is that 20 minute mud, so we'll go over it with a easier sanding drywall mud at the end. But since I had this on hand, it does bond good and it does dry fast, so this will be ready to work tomorrow. And lay another, you know, this will have the right shape and it'll just be a finishing coat. So that's it. And then you can even come in and hit this with a wet rag and kind of smooth down the edges. But there it is. So yeah, the only thing to do now is I'm going to shim out behind these. They have plenty of travel, you know, with these long screws. I'm just going to get a piece of shim behind each one, bring it out a little more, and then that way when that faceplate goes on there, it'll sit flat on this now flat wall, you know, once it's all done, and it will, they'll all line up in the faceplate where they're supposed to, so.